Hey guys, Ellen Woodbridge here, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia. Today I am playing along with the Stampin' Up! Colour Challenge, which is a group on Facebook that a friend of mine, Bobby Fort, is started. And what we do, we basically ask for colour challenges, but just to make things a bit more structured and make it easier for people who are a bit scared to ask for colour challenges, we are setting a colour challenge every month. So for the month of May, the colour challenge is Flirty Flamingo, Smoky Slate and Rich Razzleberry. Now, I have used the Lovely Inside and Out stamp set, which is sadly going along with its matching lovely words framelets. And I've used this just to create a simple stamped card. Now, I've used generation stamping on this, and I will show you exactly how I've done it. So let me just open the stamp set, get some things set up. Now, also this month, we'll be doing a few extra challenges on the group just to keep things interesting. So we will have 3 challenges for the month, and keep an eye out. I will have a link to the group down below so you can come along and play as well. Now, I obviously haven't cleaned my stamps very well last time I used them. Now, I'm going to leave the words because I've used the hinge step technique in the Stamparatus. So I'm going to leave the words till the end. Bring in my piece of Whisper White cardstock here. Just pop this in the corner. I think I will start with my Rich Razzleberry ink. Open this baby up. I hope you guys are all well today. So just going to give that a nice ink up. I always check it because it's a solid stamp or fairly solid to make sure. So I'm going to try and leave this section here fairly light, so when I do my generation stamping you can see the word hugs all the way down with the hinge step technique. So I'm just going to stamp this off up here. Okay, so the reason I keep on re-inking it and stamping it off is because when you stamp on the edge of the page you get this line there which affects the way you stamp. So I'm going to be stamping off twice. Do a nice one here, and then because I stamp solidly I can do this again, and I think once more for good luck there. So I've used first, second, third, fourth, 5th generation stamping, which is really easy to do with the darker inks. Now I'm going to leave this open off to the side. I know it's a risk because I will be using it again in a second. So the Flirty Flamingo ink, I'm going to use these dashes, and it helps. There we go. That's much better adhered now. So this one's a bit easier. So first generation here, I do want to keep some white space, but I also, now it's going to be darkest up here, so I can go there. I want to create some groupings with the 3 stamps that I'm using. And I'll just go here so you can see I've already started creating those groupings, which is great because even though they're just great organic shapes that create some really nice backgrounds. This one reminds me a bit of a fingerprint. Now I just might Look that up again because I wasn't completely happy with that. So I just want things to start overlapping now, just to give that really nice effect. Now I do want some of these elements need to be off the page. Over here I'm not particularly happy because everything's quite on the page or on the piece of paper, and it just doesn't give it that nice organic effect that it's coming off the page. Okay, do once here, do this one up here, and this one down here. I think I'm going to come back in with this stamp. Okay, oh, I did catch the edges there, but that's okay. We need to keep the handmade look, and I do want one more, but I've got a lot around. I think I might just do a touch here and a touch down there. Okay, so that is my background done. Now that was fairly quick, and I will show you another card that I did. I wasn't 100% happy with it, and of course it's stuck under a block. Okay, so I wasn't particularly happy because these rich razzleberry starbursts are a bit too dark. So when I went in with the generation stamping, you don't get as much of being able to see it as what you do on this one. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to bring in my Stamparatus. Now for those of you who haven't seen the Stamparatus, I'm going to give you a quick rundown. This is a stamp positioning tool made by Stampin' Up, and this actually has two hinges. I'm only using one today, or two plates. Now you can put one in that position, one in that position, and they come out and we can flip them around. So we have 4 stamping surfaces. Now I'm going to pop that back there. And comes with this mat, which we use for photopolymer stamp sets. Now we're using a clear mount rubber set today, so I can pop that aside. It doesn't come with this piece, but it does come with the grid background, which keeps things nice and lined up. I got a friend of mine who does some framing as part of her business to give me this mat piece, which I will show you why we're using it in just a second. So I'm going to pop this piece just in the corner there. Now I don't want to get stuck stamping right up against the hinge, because it can be difficult with all stamp positioning devices to stamp up right in the corner. So that's why I have this bumper piece, just to bump it out a bit. Now this is an imaging sheet from our Stamp-A-Magic, which is also sadly retiring. And what I do, I use this as a guide, so I can stamp on top of the card or the piece that I'm stamping without actually putting any ink on the card. So this is my fail-safe technique, just to make sure I've got everything lined up and correct. So I'll just adhere that to the plate. Take my rich razzleberry. Now if you don't have one of these pieces, you can use a piece of clear window sheet or acetate. You just want to make sure it's nice, and that looks good to me. I like that. So now I'm going to take this piece away. I'm not using a magnet because that's sitting perfectly there. We do have magnets that you can use to hold it in place, but today I don't feel as though I need one. So I've taken that imaging sheet away. I'm just stamping on here. So this is our first generation. If it moves, just pop it back. So I'm going to lift it out, pop it down a hinge, no re-inking, and I'm going to do this. This is called hinge step, all the way down to create that generation stamping of the same word, hugs. Now, anyone who knows me in real life knows I'm a hugger. I love a good hug. Then just pop that back to where we were at. Take this one off, and then I've just got to add the sending U. So I'm going to use this same piece again. And this card is actually going out to a friend of mine, a new friend, who I met at On Stage, who was, well, two of them actually. They were so very helpful to me on Friday for On Stage, and I was setting up my display board. It's especially good to use the Stamparatus because I can't get my head right over that when I'm filming a video, because you guys don't need to see the back of my head. So give this an ink up. Now, I know what the problem is here. I have used dirty fingers on these stamps. I can see there's ink, so they're just a touch dirty. So I'm just going to take, okay, right, that is better. Just give everything a bit of a clean, and it's really good I've got my card protected at the moment. Just give this is just plain water. Just going to give this a spray down because I've been using it a fair bit lately. And just give everything a clean. A lot of the reason why our clear mount stamps won't stick to our this isn't wet. It's not helping. Won't stick to our blocks is because they are dirty. Now, our fingers just they have natural oils on them, which is all good for our skin, but it's not so great for the static adhesion of these stamps. So let's try this again, bringing in the smoky slate. And I'm not going to edit this bit out because I want you to see the pitfalls. Oh my God, everything is too wet. Okay, what have I got besides using my t-shirt? Guess what? The t-shirt is what we're going to use, guys. Oh, and I got Rich Razzleberry ink on it. Lucky it's on the underside of my t-shirt, I hope. Right. Also just going to get a baby wipe. I do keep these handy. This is real life stamping for you guys. And I'm just going to take this to the side and clean that off because that is absolutely a disaster waiting to happen. So everything is nice and dry and clean now. So let's go take 3. Okay, that looks much better now. Much better. Okay, ink this. It moved, guys. Right, I am going to be brave, not fight with this anymore. Pop it away and use one of my blocks and pray and hope for the best, because I haven't got the right tools at my hand at the moment. So let me just grab a block from my magic block box over here. Right. There we go. Now that block is nice and clean. I've been stamping away from home, and this stamp is being ever so stubborn. Okay, quickly go. If this isn't straight, it's a handmade card. That is not too bad. I would have liked to have stamped it a second time, but we're going to go with this. Okay, just going to move this baby wipe off my desk because it is sopping wet. Bring in our Flirty Flamingo mat. Grab my Tombow glue. Pop some of that on here. Okay, so I just use little dots. Gives me a nice bit of wiggle room and enough all over glue to make this stick nicely. Okay, so I've got that going there. Just need to cut my card base, and I wanted to show you guys how to do that because my cards fold this way, and generally our paper doesn't like to go that way. Now hold on a sec here, guys. I've got lots of stuff open and I'm going to be very messy today. This is totally unlike me. Right, here we go. Bring my trimmer in, push it up as far as I can. So the paper likes to actually naturally fold this way because the way the fibers are laid down, but I like my cards to be stand up open, not side open. So what I do to help get a really nice crisp fold is put this in halfway, and I just need to open this, move the cutting blade, bring this back up for you. So this is the scoring blade, the lighter blade. I just go over, give that a nice score, so that will then fold really nicely there. Pop it back in again, lock my trimmer. Here we go. Cut it in half, and I have two card fronts. One I'll pop to the side over here, pop my trimmer away just above your heads, and give this a nice fold in half. Bring in my bone folder. Okay, perfect. And just burnish that fold nice and crisp, and it will stand up nicely. Grab my Tombow multi-purpose adhesive again. Just give these few dots. Now for those of you watching that are in Australia and would like to purchase some of the retired products, I do have an online store, and I will have it linked below. I will link within that, when you go to that link rather, there will be a retirement list, and you can have a look just exclusively at those items and order directly online, or you can contact me and I will be happy to help. Now that is my card made, and I will endeavour to get these out in the post today. And just as a finishing touch, I do always pop my name on the back so people have my details if they want to pass them on. So that's something a little extra that I'll do before I pop it in the post. So to refresh your memory of what we've used today, we have used the Lovely Inside and Out stamp set, and we have used Flirty Flamingo, Rich Razzleberry and Smoky Slate inks for the Stampin' Up! Colour Challenge. I will link below to the challenge. Come over, join, answer a few questions so we know you're not a robot, and come and join the fun, ask for some colours, help get that mojo moving, and to try a different combination. I quite often get caught in a rut. I know Rich Razzleberry is a favourite of mine, but popping it with these other colours has really stretched me, and I'm really happy with the result. Thank you so much for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you liked, and subscribe and press the bell to get notifications. Have a wonderful day. Bye.